Right, what's happening, everyone? Welcome to your Wednesday show. Something a little bit different this week. As you might have seen, the show Squid Game has been on everyone's TV, and if you hadn't seen already, I was in it. So we're going to spend...
Squid Games or Squid Game?
What did we say it was?
No, you said Squid Game, yeah, and it is Squid Game,
That's right,
isn't it? Everyone just calls it Squid Games, but it is Squid Game.
Squid Game, then. So we're going to use this show for me to let you all know what it was like. Gary can ask me anything you want. Sure, he can ask questions that you're all thinking, and I will give you the full behind the scenes, how it all come about, what happened, and my opinion on it.
I mean, obviously, from my point of view, I watched the fake one. You know, obviously, that was based in Asia first, and is it Asia or America? It was Asia, wasn't it?
Korean, it was.
Yeah, in Asia. You know what I mean? But so, I guess the question on everyone's tongue, and you always got, you know, the cat's out the bag, so to speak, from your side of it. It's rigged and all that. It looks a very intense experience and very, you know, nerve-wracking. I think first and foremost, before, like, you know, it's got to be dramatic and it's got to be entertaining, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Before we go into, like, you know, the whole thing about it's fake or this, that and the other, before it starts, what's the prep like? How much did he prepare you for saying, like, this is what we want you to do, this is what you should do?
So the prep with regards to even getting on the show, I didn't even apply to go on it. So they slid into my DMs on Instagram and said, hi Andy, you know, your Instagram profile seems pretty cool. Would you be up for this game show? And they sent me like what it was going to be, like a kind of real life Squid Game.
Did you actually say the word Squid Game in the initial, like?
I think they did, yeah. And I was like, that's pretty cool. So I clicked on it, and then she was
right
like,
through your street, that as well, isn't it?
Well, she was, well, listen, they must have just thought one-legged Marine, world record, you know, he'd be pretty good for the show, whatever. So she said, here's my number, if you can give a quick call. So I spoke to her, and she's obviously one of the researchers for the show, and she was just like, look, it's going to be the biggest show on Netflix, the biggest ever prize giveaway. I'm not saying you're going to be on the show, but we'd like you to, you know, put your name down, and we can get our producers to give you a call. So even on that, then I basically just got put to pretty much the front of the queue.
You're excited?
At first, I was just like, that's how Celebrity
Mm.
MasterChef. I didn't obviously apply to go on that day. Someone rang me one day and went, do you want to go on this? So
doesn't happen to me, that.
And well, you know my attitude. I'm just like, yes, say yes to everything. You know what I mean? Jump at every opportunity. So I was like, okay. So I just went along with it. And what I since found out is there was obviously tens and tens of thousands of people, maybe even hundreds of thousands from all over the world who applied to go on this show. So straight away, the fact that they're asking some people to come on it, to me, that seems a bit... Anyway, so it started off with just fill out an application. Then it was like, you need then to have a FaceTime with one of our people. And then they're just asking, you know, funny stories. And I spoke for like half an hour on this interview, and then they trim it down to like 2 minutes. Send that to the big producers.
Big Brother.
Yeah.
Big Brother type audition tape.
Yeah, all that. Send that to the producers. And then before I knew it, it was like, yeah, you've been on. So I think I only had to do like 2 or 3 things, whereas I spoke to some people down there, and the process went on for like 6-9 months.
When was it?
It got filmed in January.
So it's a year old?
Well, not even that, like what, 10 months?
Yeah, well, it's
11.
It's not far off, yeah. So that's what I mean. That's a long time to me.
Yeah. So they say, yeah, you've been selected to go on it type thing and all that. They said you need to take at least, I think it was 3 weeks off work. You could be potentially away for 3 weeks. So I was like, right, okay, cancelled any speaking gigs I might have. And then the start of January, went down to London. I think that's when you first got a feel of how big it was, because you went down to a hotel right next to Tower Bridge, and they just basically had the whole hotel to themselves.
Wow.
So there was 456 people from all over the world, and you just walked into like the lobby, and there was just people everywhere. You could tell all there for obviously the same thing. All, you know, races, nationality, ages. It was just like, and that's when I thought, wow, fuck, this is like real, this, you know what I mean? But they were big on not speaking to anyone, because they wanted any initial interactions to be all recorded.
Be all authentic.
Yeah. So they didn't want me and you in our civvies now going, all right, Gary,
yeah.
And then on the show, it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everyone was sitting in this hotel lobby.
So did he say, so before you got the hotel, were they actually saying to you, don't speak to anyone when you get there?
Yeah.
How was that sent? Was it like an email, or was it like,
just on
did you get instructions in an email?
Yeah. So there was months and months of instructions saying, go here, here's your train ticket to go down, you pay for that. You're going to be in this hotel. Don't speak to no media, don't speak to no press, don't tell anyone.
I mean, just while we're on that one, I mean, I can't hear my story, but this is hopefully quite interesting to people. The day that it airs, obviously, and the cat was out the bag, so to speak, and everyone's seen you on Netflix. You said in our WhatsApp group, I can't wait to out this, I can't wait, it's a sham and blah, blah. And we were like, listen, Andy, you probably signed something here to say you can't do it. Did you sign anything?
Yeah. No, you weren't allowed to. To be fair, I don't think it would have mattered much to me because I didn't get that far in the show. But I think if you'd got far in the show and then started saying, well, he goes out, he wins, whatever.
Course, yeah, fair enough.
But I think for me, it wasn't too bothered. But yeah, you had to sign all like...
NDA type.
Yeah, and all that. And they were just like, don't tell anyone you're going to be away and stuff like that. She told me family and friends, but just said to everyone, don't tell anyone. And I think the hardest thing would have been for whoever did win is spending like 10, 11, 12 months not telling anyone you won because they can hold the money back.
I was going to say,
you don't get the money until it goes out.
Yeah. Wow.
So it goes down there, there's people everywhere, and then you're just in like this kind of, you're just waiting in line to get your number and to get all that kind of thing.
Actually get your number, waiting in like to get a marathon.
Yeah, get your track, literally like a marathon. So you get your tracksuit.
Your tracksuit.
At first, you never got the tracksuit. You just had to go in, check in, and all that. You got given a hotel room, but then you weren't allowed to leave your hotel room.
Was your number in your hotel room then?
No, they were just like, go to your hotel room, and we'll tell you when you can go for dinner. So you had to stay because they didn't want anyone talking to anyone. So you had to go in your hotel room. You were stuck in your hotel for 2 days.
Oh my God!
Like wasn't allowed out. It's like being in lockdown again.
Yeah.
So I'm there like doing press ups in my room, just FaceTiming.
Getting a pump on.
Honestly, thinking who you gonna meet down there.
You
never know. That was the thing as well. In the instructions, they said like you can take condoms in. I think they were hoping.
Wow.
Or they were maybe saying, look,
there's a bit of goosing going on.
Yeah, because it's like Big Brother essentially. It's just that it's like a people experiment.
Take condoms with you.
Yeah. They couldn't take them with them, but they provide them if you ask for them. That was it. So anyway, I'm in this hotel room, and then each day you'd get like a little thing under the door saying like, your dinner today is at 6 o'clock. You'd have like a time you could go down. Oh, honestly, it was mad. And you go down in the canteen and you'd see people. You weren't allowed to talk to anyone. You weren't allowed to, nothing like that. But what was really funny is I'm in a hotel. Before I got to my room, I'm there and I could hear a Scouse accent. And it was the lad Mutty.
Next door?
No, this was when I'm in the hotel lobby.
Yeah.
I'm in the hotel lobby sitting there waiting to get like processed. And I heard a Scouse accent. I was thinking, because there's 456 people from all over the world, I'm thinking, what are the chances there's going to be a few from Liverpool? I hear a Scouse accent. So I look round and it's Mutty, who's going to be on the show, by the way, next week. And so I just looked up and he went to me, what's happening, lad? You all right? I went, hello, lad, you all right? And one of the producers...
You were trying to follow the rules and he was...
Yeah, one of the producers went, do you two know each other? And he was like, lad, everyone knows Andy, like joking like that. And I was like, what's happening, lad, you all right? And so I thought, fucking hell, because at that point I'm thinking, is this ruined for us? Anyway, it was all sound, and so I thought, that's sound, there's at least another Scouser here. And then the blonde girl, Amanda, who also was going to be on the show, I said hello to her, but didn't really get to speak to her properly beforehand. So we're in the hotel room for, I think, 2 days, and then you get a thing through your door, say, right, you need to go to level 10 and get fitted for your uniform. You go and get you fitted, that's when you get your number. I think I was 189. And then it's back to your room, then you're just waiting for the next instruction. And then it's right, go and get your headshots done. Go and get headshots, and then you're back in your room. And then the day before you leave, you'd have to give your mobile phone in.
Did you know when you were gonna like the actual show or the record?
Yeah, they said like I think it was like 2 or 3 nights in a hotel, and then on the last kind of night you have to give your phone in, and then so obviously you never had your phone.
Yeah.
So then it was quite cool because they were like 6 o'clock at night, give your phone in, and then it was like at some point you'll get a thing under your door telling you the next instructions. So you've give all your clothes in, all you've got is your tracksuit.
Sitting there ready to go in your tracksuit.
Literally, your tracksuit. So it was like thermals, top thermal bottoms, a t-shirt and a tracksuit, and these white plimsolls. and nothing else on you, no phone, no nothing. And they give you like a little wash bag that you're going to take onto the set with you. And then a thing coming under the door saying you're going to get a phone call woken up at like 3 a.m. So get ready. So you just go to bed.
What did you do?
I just got my head down. I was
going to say, like, I wouldn't know what, like, everything in that instance, you'd be like, I set my alarm on my phone.
Yeah. No, they had a hotel phone that rang.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably a little bit...
But I'd want to be awake before that. I'd like hate the phone to go and I've got it and I'm
But maybe that's with the military, man.
Yeah,
I was really chilled out about all that.
Yeah.
But you could tell, and I'm not being disrespectful, and I'll go on to it a bit more later on, but you could tell, mate, some people this was like the greatest thing that's ever going to happen in their life.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was cool for me, but I'm like, yes. But like, people were like, do you know what I mean? Anyway, so the phone goes off at like 3 o'clock. I get up, quick shower, 5 minutes, get my stuff on, go downstairs. And then that's when you see everyone in the green suits, and it's like, this is fucking
funny.
mad. Yeah, it's funny, like. So we go down, we're all waiting in the lobby, and again, they're like, please, guys, don't talk. But it's like herding cattle. It's like people are having a little chat, and, you know, you're getting to know people a little bit. And then they're like, right, this 4 o'clock in the morning, get on these coaches, don't know where you're going. You're walking through the streets of London with looking these green tracksuits on, jump on like about 6, 7 different coaches. You just head off. I was sitting next to this this girl from California or New York. I think she was from Australian, but I think lives in New York. Really nice girl. And I get on the coach, like, don't speak. But I'm like, I was near the back, like, you're all right, yeah, where are you from, what's your name? And all that. And yeah, then we get to this airfield at like 6 in the morning, about 2 hours we were on the coach.
Wow.
This big massive hangar, old airfield, just north of London. And it was freezing. It was January, obviously, it was fucking freezing. And you basically walked into this room to kind of get processed. And what they done is they put like a blood thing on you, like a blood pack, so that if anything happens, they click it and you're dead, basically. And then here's where it started to get a bit dodgy, right? They put microphones on you, right? And all it was is, you get like a bobble, like a woman's, like kid's bobble. It was that kind of material. And it had this on, like from a microphone on it, right? And some of them were just a circle with a bit of microphone thing on. So it was...
That's not a microphone.
It's not a microphone, right?
It's a black microphone.
But they give some people actual microphones with a pack on. Okay? Now, I think because everyone's a bit like, oh, what's going on? And you're trying to suss the competition out. You're wondering what's going to be next. You're like... And I was going... I actually got a real mic.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking... And then you start thinking, am I getting recorded now? Do I need to be careful what I say? Blah, blah, blah. But then some people just didn't have it. And I was going, that's not even a fucking mic.
Yeah.
So it was weird how they've got some people mic'd up and some people weren't. So that started ringing alarm bells a bit. And then some people were getting given interviews, some people didn't. And I guess the other arguments that could be they might have had 456 mics. They never had time to interview 456 people. But there was definitely certain characters that were a bit more outspoken and a bit more like, which I suppose you're going to get with that many different people, etc. But so then we're all sitting in these rooms, like a little almost made up canteen, getting some food and all that, and then just kind of waiting out. There's a lot of waiting around, so you're then starting to talk to people and all that. And then once you've got your blood pack on, your mic on, they're like, right guys, we're gonna go and look at the set. So we walked through.
Look at the set.
Yeah, it's just to look at the set. So nothing's getting recorded yet. It's not even started.
You don't think it is anyway?
Well, yeah, but I mean, so they're like, right, 0 to 100 in that line, blah blah blah. So you're all in these, and it's this big, huge
hangar.
Like hangar. The set looks incredible. Like fair play to them. You walk in, and it's exactly like Squid Games. Like, do you know what I mean? It is mental. So I think they probably recorded that to get our initial reaction. Do you know what I mean? You're like, fucking hell, like, so that was probably real. But then you stand there, and then the producers come over, and the safety staff and all that, and explain the rules of the game, because it's got to be like a proper commission of like blah blah blah. And this is where you thought, this is bullshit. So they said, right guys, the rules of the game are you've got to get from this line down to that line. I'm guessing about 120 meters maybe. You can only move when the doll is looking away and the music's playing. When the doll looks at you and the music stops, you've got to be still. You've got motion detectors on your shoulder. There are motion detectors, things that can see if you move. There's going to be people with binoculars looking at you. And
I'm like, I found myself then just being as still as I could while you were explaining that.
so like there's people, everyone's looking at you. There's drones, there's things in your shoulder and all that. Now, already there was like rumours going, so and so hasn't got like a a motion detector in the kit. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Did you? What did you think this was?
Yeah,
Like a shoulder pad?
it was just like a little computer chip thing, you know what I mean? And then you can see all the motion detectors up in the air. You can see like people with binoculars and stuff like that. So they're going through the game, the rules of the game. And then this is where it gets fucked up. They said, right, there's going to be 5 minutes on the board. You got 5 minutes to get from A to B. Okay, sound. What's going to happen is the clock will start ticking down. After a few seconds, the music will play. That's when you run. The music will play for a set amount of time. It will stop. Then you need to stay still.
Musical statues.
You will stay still for 20, 30 seconds. And then the doors will open and the cameras will come in and start getting some shots of you all in your still positions. Right, okay. We were like, so how long do we have to stay still for? And she said, it'd probably be about 10 minutes. So I was like,
what?
Right, okay. Because they need to get all the shots that they need to get. Do you know what I mean? So I was
Why
thinking,
couldn't the camera... Oh, because the...
So when you've ran, it goes,
I get
and you stop.
that, Why couldn't the cameraman be already there? Why is the
maybe it would mess up the big shot.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
So already people are going, whoa, hang on a minute, this is a bit... Because it's not just going to be straight away, like you see on TV. It's not just 5 minutes. Straight away, you know there's going to be a lot of time where... So anyway, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so we get this kind of thing, and already that was the first sign for me. I was going, not just on the rules was a bit dodgy, but I was thinking, people are going to piss me off in here.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like, they've explained pretty well, and then you get people going, are you allowed to blink?
No,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You're not blinking 10 minutes.
Honestly, like, people are, and I'm just like, oh, I'm going to fucking kill someone here. That was odd. It's not even started yet, do you know what I mean? And then you're going into like, so they were like, give us the brief. And then you went back in and we had our lunch. I was sitting there, and then you can just see already little clicks start, which is natural. Like, you had all the Americans over there, like, you know, there was a few from New Zealand. Remember Wolf off Gladiators?
No way.
He was there.
Shut up.
Yeah.
How old's he now?
He was about 70 odd, yeah.
Oh my God.
So Wolf was there. There was two ex-Marines were there. I spoke to them. A couple of Scousers. Met some nice people, but also some bellends. You could just tell.
Yeah.
You know what might be nice people?
You can attract them, innit?
But you know what might be nice people, but just not my people, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't think anything else.
For the records, anyone who's not Andy's type of people is a bellend.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it was a bit harsh, that, but fuck. You'll know why I said it in a minute. Right, so we do all that. I don't think there's anything. No, that was it. So then you start to think, how's it best to move? Like, do you run?
Stealthy.
Do you? Some people were like wanting to like kind of go on the side.
You're allowed to crawl.
Yeah, if you could do whatever you wanted. Some people wanted to run and then lie down. Some people were like to keep your hands in your pockets. Do you? So you start to just
their own
like,
strategy. Yeah.
The other big thing to note though, it was freezing. It was cold. So anyway, they were giving you hand warmers as well because they knew it was cold. So we go back in.
Little things that you squeeze.
Yeah. So we go back in, have some food, and then again just loads of waiting round. And then they're like, right guys, come forward now. It's game time. So we're standing in these like big lines. The doors open. I got nervous.
A bit of adrenaline.
Yeah. Once we actually got in, I was behind the line. I was quite nervous. People were like, you know, again, you saw already that like when money's on the line, people act different.
Get weird, yeah.
People, listen, we've both been fucked over with money and stuff, but by friends, if you like, these are strangers who want to win $4.56 million. Fair enough. So there's all this jostling and getting to the front of the line. I was quite central, maybe like fourth back, if you like. And I was like, right, okay.
So there wasn't a chance, might sound stupid, there wasn't a chance for everyone to be on the line then?
No.
It's like,
no.
Some people get right to the front of me and just like...
Yeah. Some people right at the front. So if you imagine 120 meters, however many meters wide, but it was like 4 or 5 deep. Like,
was it longer than it was wide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot longer. I'd maybe say 40 meters wide, maybe.
Wow. It seems
120 meters long. So we're there, and then that's when I started thinking, this is actually pretty cool. Like this, do you know what I mean? It's quite fun. So the doll, they're like, right, everyone ready? This is like go time now. Serious, like
scary. That's all. Like
so, the doll's looking at you, and the doll's slow. It's dead slow. Like turns away, and then it goes. And then everyone just, some people obviously at the front start bombing it. I can't move forward anyway because there's people there. So I've probably the first go, probably only move
about a yard,
2 or 3 steps past the line.
Mm.
But because there's that many people and you're crammed, like being at the match a little bit, my stance wasn't that like stable. I'd kind of move forward and then move to the right a bit. So I was a bit like...
You went to like get past someone?
Yeah, I was on a bit of a lunge.
Yeah.
So my hands are in my pockets on a bit of a lunge. And then obviously the doll looks at you and I'm just giving it that, right? 15 seconds, the clock still goes down. So it's go, and then the clock stops on like 4 minutes 35. I'm standing like that. So when the clock stops, that's when the doors open. And then the cameramen come in and stuff like that. And the producer, the director, whoever they are, the couple of cameramen, they're all walking around. Everyone's in silence. And you're just like that. But you've got no concept of time. So you're just like wondering,
when's this going to end?
When's this going to end? Right. Have a guess how long they walked around for.
10 minutes?
20 minutes.
20 minutes?
So the game's been going on the clock 25
seconds and they're walking around for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, been standing there. So I'm in a bit of a lunge going.
Yeah.
So straight away I thought, if this what's going to happen every time, you need to be sensible here.
Yeah. So
the cameraman and the director fucks off. The doll turns, music starts playing. I'm just a lot more like calmer now. I just little bit of a trough forward, and then I stand like
as comfortable in as comfortable position as you can.
Then, by the way, no one gets shot straight away. Whereas on the TV show, loads of people get shot straight away. That did not happen. Again, the cameraman comes out, another 20 minutes. Fucking standing like, so now the game's been playing maybe 40 seconds, but yet you've been there maybe 40 minutes. 50 minutes. So already you're going this, and I've
it's tedious this,
and I've maybe gone 6 or 7 meters out of 120.
How far was the furthest person up when you were 7 meters up?
Probably like 20, 25. Okay. Some people just ran straight away. Do you know what I mean? But I'm still at the point where you're
still trying to jostle for position. Yeah.
This same process happened another 2 or 3 times, right? But now at this point we've been going for maybe 2 hours.
Fucking
right. And the odd person was getting shot, like the odd. Yeah. You just hear doof and someone. After maybe 2.5 hours, I'm maybe like a third of the way through. So I've maybe went like 30, 40 meters now.
Has anyone finished yet?
No, miles away. Mate, no one crossed that line for at least 5 hours.
Wow.
The first person took them 5 hours. So I'm there, right? And then after like
full day's work, that.
Mate, after 2, but don't forget, this is the thing that people need to realise. And if you watch it back, people are shaking, people's lips are blue because it was freezing, it was cold, like. But I'm standing there. After like 2 hours, I've probably gone 30 meters.
Hands in your pocket.
Hands in your pocket. Yeah. Holding onto the hand warmers because it's that cold. And then you just heard medic. And I just carried on looking forward. And you just heard medic, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, what's happened here? And then they were like, right, everyone just relax. Don't move your feet, but relax a little bit. And you looked around and someone had like fainted.
Oh my God.
And then there was someone else who had like hypothermia. And like people were going down. Honestly, people were going down.
Oh no!
Because the other thing was, it was freezing. You weren't moving at all, obviously. And then you were expected to run again. So even when you started running again, you were so stiff.
Yeah.
And doing that, so it was already mad.
The weird.
And then they go, right, everyone. Right, game faces again now, guys. You know, they sorted like the medical thing out.
They wheeled them out.
And then they're like, right, let's go again. Medic! Someone's fainted again.
Oh
so it was like every other go, they were having to say to everyone, right, just relax a minute. when I say relax, you couldn't move, but it was just a bit like,
just like, keep your feet where you are, stay in your same position, so don't cheat, move forwards.
So anyway, this is going on, but then at one point you saw maybe some of the characters who'd done quite well in the show. They were the people who were a bit, outspoken and a bit like loud. Some of them were like moving, like as in, so you're looking forward.
You visibly see the kid,
and I could visibly see some people are moving, but they weren't getting popped or nothing like that. You know what I mean? And it was a bit. You started going a bit like
they had as a heads up here. They've been told, look, like going out.
Pretty much, yeah. So anyway, it goes again.
When you say the moving at the point when they weren't meant to be moving, it wasn't like relax. You're thinking, how's he not been shot there?
Yeah. There's loads of that where you're going, how the fuck has he not been shot?
Yeah.
There's loads of that. Keep on moving again. At one point, if you can see, if you're watching the program, they're like houses almost on the side. I got towards past the last house, and there was probably 15 meters to go before I was there. So when I got popped, there was 1 minute 30 on the clock, 1 minute 36. So I was like, I was far.
So that's 7 or 8 goes, 7 or 8
maybe
intervals.
Maybe, yeah. So I reckon I'm like 6.5, 7 hours in now. What happened, right? This was fucking, honestly, so bizarre. So it goes, and what I was doing, there was a guy who done quite well on it. He got to the marbles bit, an English fella who got to the marbles bit, who come across as a bit of a bully. I was standing behind him. So when everyone's looking at the binoculars, I was just basically following in his footsteps.
Yeah, you
just almost
in his slipstream.
Yeah. I was just in his slipstream and I was flying. Honestly, I'm not just saying this, I was flying. I felt sound. Again, coming back to the military, it was like being on parade. I was used to standing there, not moving. I was happy. It was all right. And again, it was freezing. But again,
bearable. You knew it was going to end at some point.
They're not going to give you £4.5 million and it'd be fine. So I was like, it's freezing, but it's one of them. We're going, and then it stops. We're all standing there, and then someone faints again. So they're like, medic, stop, everyone, keep where you are. So I'm like relaxed, and that fella turned around to me and he was like, you fucking hiding in my shadow, are you? And I was like, it's working well for me, mate, don't worry, I'm giving a tap on the back, it's cool. And then I looked to the side and there's this girl, I've got her on Instagram, she's a ex-UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Her name's Spider Monkey. She was like my little mate in there. And so we're talking and we're like, she's like, dude, we've got this. I was like, I know. I'm like, maybe 1 or 2 more goes away.
Yeah.
I fucking got this, like, this flying. Yeah, boom. Come on, we do this, come on. We're like, one's at the front are like egging each other up, egging each other on. At this point, there's maybe like 15, 20 people who have passed the line. So you're like,
what are they doing now? They're just like side.
They've been taken away by the people. So I'm thinking, fuck me, I've fucking smashed this. Do you know what I mean? But here's what I've done, right? Oh, that was it. Sorry, yeah. So they go, come on. The music starts playing. We go again, and again at this point, I'm like, we're in touching distance.
Was it like pretty much the same amount of time every time, or sometimes with 5 seconds?
Oh, it was easy to do. You knew them.
You could almost
you knew the song.
Like,
it was easy. That bit was easy. So I'm like maybe again 10 meters medic. Right, so you're looking around, and this is the point where I knew something was going wrong. I looked round, and there was fucking hundreds of people still left in, right? And sorry, the one thing as well, sorry that I should have said before we went in, I said to one of the people, I was going, how many people do they need to get rid of in here? And one of the people who were working for the production was like, a good couple hundred of you need to go. Because you think about it, the next scene is when you walk into the dormitories. These sets, they can't just be meddled with. They take a long time to set up and all that. So they can't have like...
There's only so much space,
There's only so much space. There's only so many beds they can have in. So they will have had a set amount of beds in there. So they need to get rid of so many people.
And they also, let's be honest, for the entertainment value, you don't want to get rid of all the characters and end up with loads of boring.
Exactly.
TV.
So I'm standing there, right? And he said, like, when you could relax because everyone was
start doing the maths a little bit, thinking...
I did. I looked round. I went, there's been about 20, 30, 40 maximum people who've done it. That's leaving maybe 400 in. And I looked round and I went, there's about fucking 350 people still here. Now, maybe 100 people at the most have been shot. I was like, there's fucking too many people. Like, people need to start getting popped here because there's too many people. And I'm looking around, and the thing what I don't think the producers realised was, in the actual game, you know, people died. No one was getting killed in this game.
Yeah.
And there was a genuine chance of winning £4.5 million. So people were staying still.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. People discipline.
People
I don't understand. That's why I asked you that question then. If you knew you had to get rid of X amount of people, why wouldn't you have played it like musical statues and literally randomly got it turn its head and not just the same song every time?
Oh, yeah.
Because you would have caught loads of people, wouldn't you? Because as you say, then people who sprint would get caught out every now and again.
Yeah, you just knew that. You knew when to stop, and it was down then to them, like saying, "Oh, we think you moved."
Yeah.
That was all it was. So anyway, at this point, I go, "There's too many of us. Like, there's too many people who are going to win this game." So the music starts playing again. I run, stand still. At this point, mate, I'm like 7 meters from the line,
God.
and I'm thinking, on the next go,
I'll make it.
I'm over the line.
I'm just gonna peg it.
Yeah. If I'd ran the last one, I would have made it. Standing there, medic. I'm like, oh my God, just someone else have fainted and all that. They said, right, that person got dealt with, taken off in a stretcher. Right, everyone, game faces, and I'm there. I'm like, right,
there you go.
What the fuck? And I just went, and then I just had to sit on the floor and had to lie down. And I'm just lying there going, what?
How's that happened?
Listen, being genuine, I don't give a fuck now. I did not move. Listen, I'll tell you now if I did.
Yeah.
I did not move.
Yeah, when you're that close as well, why would you?
So anyway, I got popped. I'm lying there. Then you just heard about like 10, 15 people got popped. Then the music went again, and then
You were just getting rid of people, yeah.
So at that point, I'm just lying there, and I'm looking around, and the people who got shot next to me, that girl, Spider Monkey, got shot. She was like, dude, I never fucking moved. I said, neither did I. So we got up and we're walking back out the hangar. That's it. The game's over for us.
Yeah.
Walking back, take the blood pack off, and they're like, oh, guys, so this is after like 7.5 hours now.
Yeah.
The production staff are going, guys, you did really well. You know what I mean? Unlucky. I was like one of them. You know what I mean? We go out, take off the blood pack thing, and then start getting put back on the coaches to get taken back to London. That's when it got interesting for me, because another thing to point out, when I was speaking to people before the game had started, I was saying to I spoke to some fella, I couldn't even say what he looked like, but I said to him, oh mate, you know, what brings you on to Squid Game? And he went, I've just had a divorce, lost the house with the divorce, I'm living in a flat, can't stand my job, in a bit of debt, and I could fucking do 4.5 million. And I'm going, I don't think that's the reason to want to, that escape to thinking, you know, you're putting a lot of, and there's a lot of people who maybe just, you know, I don't know, maybe that is the reason to go on it, but for me, I was like, this would be a bit of a laugh.
Bit of a game, yeah. Like, that's a desperate attempt, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
And I need to win 4.5 million to change my life.
And there was a lot of people like that on it, I think. And there was a lot of people, a lot of fame-hungry people on it, do you know what I mean?
Can I ask you another question, and before you carry on with this bit of the story? And again, you may or may not. How much did they pay you for it?
I never got paid to go on it.
So they asked you to take 3 weeks off work and you didn't get paid?
No. I mean, I'm alright, I work for myself. So I was like, but, some people were like...
Still, like, you cancelling speaking gigs and that, it's no joke, is it?
Yeah, but...
I know, it's one of them.
That's the chance you take,
I thought they would have at least give you expenses or, you know...
But there was some people on it who like, this was their, you know, Love Island moment, this was their chance to...
To be famous, yeah.
To be famous, yeah. And I think to apply, again, I was of the mindset, I fucking didn't even apply to go on it. Couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If they want to give me 4.5 mil, great. Happy days. But if I don't win, I love my life.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So I think I went into it with the right attitude. So genuinely, right, I walked out from there. The first 20 minutes, I was fucking gutted.
Yeah, because you're competitor.
Exactly. The competitiveness in me was like, this is fucking bullshit. But then after 20 minutes, everyone was giving it the hard luck story, and I thought, you know what? Maybe I did. And then I started going the other way, thinking, you know what? Maybe I did move. Who knows? Fuck knows, I don't know. But either way, I'm going home tomorrow, so I'm not asked. Lad, get back on the coach. And I've never been on a coach with more bitter, resentful, angry people in my life. God. So I've got on thinking...
just kicking off then.
Oh my God. I didn't fucking move. Health and safety should have been involved there. That was dangerous. We shouldn't have had to stand that long. It was too cold.
People have gone into compo mode.
Oh, mate, compo mode had started half an hour ago. So I've got on this coach thinking, it was quite funny. I want a bit of an experience.
Thinking you're all going to have a little chat about, what about that bit, what about that bit? Everyone was
crying
it in.
Crying it in, mate. Crying it in. Everyone's fucking moaning, moaning. We get back to the hotel, and they're like, right, guys, it's like, say, midnight now or something. Like, guys,
it's a long day, that.
Come down in the... Oh, yeah, it was a long day. Right, guys, the next day, come down for breakfast and we'll give you your phones then and all that. And there was this one fella, no, I want my phone now. And the production team, I felt really sorry on the Squid Game production team who were back at the hotel. They're like, you know, you've read the contract, you're potentially going to be without your phone for 3 weeks. You know, just wait, we'll sort it all in the morning, it's late now. No, I want my phone now. I'm not staying in this hotel. I'm going home. I only live 20 minutes away. I want to go home now. And I felt like saying to him, oh my God, lad, you were prepared to go 3 weeks without seeing your phone. So
you just say bitter. There
was another fella, I need to see my daughter now. Hang on, well, if you went through, you wouldn't be seeing your daughter anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to give you the flavour of like what people turned into. People are horrible, mate. People are horrible. So everyone's kicking off.
Bear in mind, the production crew are not getting paid $4.5 million, are they? They're just normal people.
They're just normal, just normal. You know, runners on a production set. Yeah. Everyone's kicking off. Everyone's being dead horrible and all.
You saying it? Or you just like?
I was just like, I didn't say no. I just kept my head down. I was
just like rolling your eyes.
Yeah, because I was just like, I want to get to bed.
Yeah.
So anyway, get me stuff, go to bed, wake up the next morning, come down, and then to get me bag and But again, I was that chilled out about it. There was a massive queue for everyone to get the phone. I just went for breakfast.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at breakfast. Right? Oh, this really gets good.
It gets good now,
lad. So I'm sitting there, and again, everyone. It's gone from being bitter to a number fucking 152 is a lawyer. He's already drafted up a thing to sue. He's asked them to see the health and safety report. He's asked them to do this. Wow. And then there were people who got shot after me when I'd left this set who started telling their stories. And like there was stories like there was like an influencer apparently who did get paid to go on it. And after one point, she was like, I'm freezing, this is shit, I don't want to do it no more. So she started moving. And they were obviously, because they paid her and wanted her to go through, they weren't killing her. So apparently she was going, hello, fucking let me move.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So she'd get shot.
Yeah.
So that happened. So we found out then the next morning people had got paid to be on it.
Yeah.
People have been, people like me had been like, didn't even have to apply. There was people obviously who hadn't been mic'd. So all these stories were coming out the next day. One of the best stories though was apparently at the end, when there wasn't that many people, loads of people like made a big rush to jump over the line at the end.
Yeah.
Like say 30 people. And basically you have to go over the line apparently.
That's the entertaining bit, and you just see them going for it. Yeah.
Apparently they were like, right, you's all like missed it or whatever like that. You's out. And apparently, again, I wasn't there for this, but this was on over breakfast the next morning. Apparently half of them went, okay, you know what? Never mind, you know, unlucky. And just was like, accepted the fate.
Yeah.
The other half of them kicked off like fuck to the point where the production went, okay, Sam, you're still in, go on. So like the thing, like the game itself, it was just so subjective of like, I thought you moved, you're out. It was that's the bit that
okay, you didn't think you moved, then sound you through. You kick off enough.
It was if you kick
like
off enough.
You were saying at the start, like a social experiment, and it is to a certain extent. A lot of it is. Yeah,
that's exactly what it was. Yeah, and if you keep on watching the show, which by the way I quite enjoyed watching the show back, and I recognised a few of the people on there. Some of them were nice people, but it was just a massive social experiment, and made me realise how much I fucking can hate people. So I ends up chatting with a few people, a few really nice people. Got them on Instagram and stuff. Still now we had breakfast together, and the people I was chatting to were a bit like me. Just you know what?
You eventually found people who were like minded.
I didn't completely hate everyone. There was some nice people there, so we're having a good chat over breakfast. I think one of them was what's her name? I can't think of the names off the top of my head, but nice people. we're all chatting away, but these stories are like, you know, just becoming louder and louder of like, a conspiracy. And by the way, like I get it.
They probably adds a point, but
they did,
like, what are you expecting to achieve from it?
Yeah. So the game, I believe the game was rigged. I believe there were certain people who needed to go through. I believe, you know, there was some people who were just cannon fodder. Me, you know, I get all that, but so what? You're not changing it now. Get on with it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I ended up going on the ale all day with a few of them. Had a boss day, real good laugh, made some mates, was cool, had a few beers, and we were just laughing and joking. The bitterness was still there a little bit of like, God, did you see him move? And he didn't get out and we did. But it was all a bit jokey and it was all that.
Jovial, yeah.
Anyway, the next day...
Did you stay there again that night?
No, I think I went home late that night. So the next day, I'll have to get a name up in a minute. Spider Monkey, she was in the UFC. She messaged me on Instagram and said, hey mate, hope you're okay. A WhatsApp group's been set up. Do you want me to add you in it? And I was like,
go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
I think it's just...
Glad. This WhatsApp group was called Squid Game's The Nightmare. Right? It was just full of bitter, disgruntled contestants who've been beat in red light, green light.
And I imagine as well, from your point of view, you're like, well, I've been fucking blown up.
Well,
I think this is like, you're talking about it like you've been left in Antarctica for 2 weeks.
I haven't got it on this phone, right? So I was like, what's this? So anyway, in this group chat, there's obviously, they're trying to lawyer up against fucking Netflix, right? All these people are trying to lawyer up. I never moved. So-and-so did move. You know, he never got shot, but I did. Blah, blah, blah. They shouldn't have us standing there for 8 hours. It was too cold. It was this, every bit of...
Well, yeah.
Anyway. So
imagine what these people like.
I'm on the... I think I must have been on the train on... you know what? I think I stayed the next night. Sorry, must have been. So the next day I'm on the train coming home and I'm just getting added into this WhatsApp group and I just see every, you know, bitter, sad bastard moaning, right? Then what had happened as well is how bitter someone must have been is there's obviously you had to sign stuff saying don't speak to any media and like that. The media had found out and had come to the hotel. So straight away someone started blabbing straight away to the the media. And it was all over the Sun newspaper the next day. So this American in this WhatsApp group had said, like, took a picture of the Sun newspaper and was like, and it said like Squid Game's horror or something like that. So at this point, everyone had been moaning about it, and then a picture gets put up at this, the newspaper of the Sun, and at that point I went, I want to say something now. So I just went, hi everyone, just for a bit of context, that newspaper is a fucking rag. No one reads it. No one respects it. I wouldn't take too much notice of this. And then someone else said something and all that, and then they were like, yeah, but it's true what they're saying, isn't it? And then it just starts again, and it's just this negative, toxic, bitter atmosphere in this WhatsApp group. And I never said something again. And then after half an hour, I bit back and I said something else about the Sun newspaper. And then someone come back at me and said, funny old thing, I bet you he's a Scouser.
Wow.
And I was just like, so now I'm a bit rattled. I'm a bit rattled. Don't say nothing again. And they're all gobbling off again. How cold it was, how this, it was a fix, it was this, it was this. And in the end I went, fuck me. You should think some of you have just done 6 months in Antarctica fighting the polar bears. Like, get a grip.
Yeah.
I said, do you really think they were just going to give you $4.5 million? Like, something like that?
Yeah, that's for a walk in the park.
Then they start firing. I wish I had the text. I've got a new phone. I haven't got it. They start firing back at me like, all moaning. And then I think that was it. Something. They said something about having to stand there or something like that. Someone had a bad knee or something like that. I said, because at this point, no one knew. No one knew I was in the Marines. No one knew I'd been blown up. No one knew I had one leg.
Yeah.
So at that point, after seeing all this shit, I went, listen. I said, I lost my leg in Afghan. I said, I stood there as long as you with one leg in all those stress positions. So fucking what? Didn't win, so what? And then he started going, someone was
backing
like...
down.
No, did he fuck? Someone was like, there you go, it's probably easy if you only having one leg.
No.
we're going back and forth, and I'm just like a one-man band now. I'm just like fighting my own corner. Just like all he is fucking stop moaning. Like
Spider Monkeys, Stefan.
No, they're messaging me on Instagram laughing or privately going, "Oh, you're funny, you." But I was just like, "Fucking stop, fucking moaning." Like, do you know what I mean? You got beat. Stop being a sore loser. Right to the point. They thought in the end
you're on the show. You're part of the show.
They thought I was a mole for Netflix. They said, "Do you work for the show?" I was like, "What are you on about?" And they're like, "Well, you seem to be defending them." I said, "No, I'm not defending them. I'm saying I think it was unfair how some of us got out. But fucking
what are you going to do about it?
What's life? You're on your way home now. Why are you moaning about it?
My God.
It's done now. Forget about it." And they're like, "Nah, we think you're on the inside. You know, you must work for Netflix. You must work for Squid Game." I was like, "Fucking think what you want, but I'll tell you now, these are all just moaning bastards." Right? And then the best one, I need to try and surely I've definitely not got it. Someone said something.
If it's WhatsApp and that's a different phone, you won't have it.
No, I don't think.
Unless you've archived it and it was that phone.
Nightmare. It's called Squid Game. Let me see. Squid Game stand. Nah. I said something about the one leg thing, right? And I was like, listen. And then someone come back to me with going like, or I'd said something. I can't remember what I'd said, but they come back to me along the lines of, just because you don't, feel the cold the way I feel the cold, you shouldn't undermine me and my feelings. If I was cold, then that should be enough for you. I feel like you're being really negative to this group and not taking anyone's feelings into account. And then someone kicked me out the group.
No way.
And it was like, I got kicked out the fucking Squid Games WhatsApp group.
Nightmare.
Because I give them all shit. Then the lad messaged me on Instagram, one of the lads who I knew was like, "Oh mate, the lawyering up, mate, do you want me to like get you back in the group?" I was like, "Not a fucking chance." I said, "Let me know if anything happens on it, but I'm fucking not that arsed." And that was it.
Oh my God.
That was my Squid Games experience.
Let me ask you one question.
Honestly, lad.
That is mad. I mean,
it was you know what? It was a really fun experience. Met some nice people. But watching the show now, you can tell that like there was definitely scripts already set.
I can't even compare anything close to that. The only thing I ever done, which is anything even remotely close to that, and you'll laugh your head off when I tell you, I was on a 60-minute makeover.
Was you?
Yeah. With Claire Sweeney. And it's the maddest story. It's a funny story, nowhere near as dramatic or whatever, but and again, the only reason I mention it is like the whole time thing. 60 minutes, it was a day. It was like it's about 16 hours in the day.
Yeah.
But how it turns out, or how it happens, is my mate's brother is a runner. And he still does it now. He's higher up now, but at the time he was a runner. And he messaged his brother on the morning of one of these shows and said, "Andy, you're busy today." I lived with Andy at the time. No, we're in uni, so losers really didn't really do anything apart from go to uni. And he went, we need a painter on set. And he was like, "Go ahead, I'll do it." And he went, any other lads want to do it? And I was like, yeah, Judge, you'll do it. And one of our other mates, Jay, so we all turned up. It was in Crosby, actually, not far from where I live now. But yeah, it was all that, like, you know what I mean? It's like sitting there painting the room, and they go like, "Just stop now." And you're like,
"Oh yeah."
Again, and like, "Claire's going to come in the room now and talk to you. Don't move. Keep facing the wall. Don't turn around. Don't do anything else." If she comes over to you, like, and I was like, "Oh my God." But it was a laugh.
But that's what I mean. And the thing is, like, I enjoyed sitting there with my family watching it. And then obviously I ended up making it onto the TV. Yeah. But you can see though how, like, I can see where they've messed up and they've not done the right scene properly because it's not in order.
Yeah, exactly. But you wouldn't know, would you?
You wouldn't know. No, if you're just watching it, you wouldn't know. But I know, like, from the order of when things happen. So certain shots, for example,
that was at the start. Not
yeah. So like the clock saying like whatever many minutes, but I know by the end when it was on like a minute to go, I know where everyone was in the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like the further up, the further down, and the people weren't there, and so it was all like, yeah. So it looked like when I got hit, there was only one person across the line. There's over 50. So there's little, and so my whole general experience from it was listen, it was fun to be part of. I'd definitely do something like that again. It was fun. It was an eye opener. Obviously I would have loved to have stayed longer in the show. I honestly don't know how I would have coped though in there because I've watched the show. There's a finale to go out next week, but some like
Do you know when's it?
no,
No.
it's down to the last 3.
Yeah.
And
I just weren't sure if you.
I don't actually. I remember one. I remember the one. There's 2 gay guys in it and a woman. The gay guy with really long hair. I recognise his face. I just don't know how I
Do you
would
not,
have
I was going to say, do you not
been
think
in that
though,
atmosphere,
and this is
environment.
probably something you've thought about anyway, given all those horrible negative people and losers who've gone out and have moaned about it, have gone, do you not think going further it might have actually been a bit more, you might have been surrounded with more like-minded people who are like, you know what, you know, I've got my own profile outside of here, I don't need to win 4.5 million, however it'd be nice, you know, I think
maybe, yeah.
further on you might have actually enjoyed it a bit more.
Oh yeah,
with a bit more carefree people who are just like
the other thing that I'll say as well is that you never got to properly kind of meet people properly, because you would
controlled.
You had like kind of a couple of a few hours with people, and then you started the game, and then no one could speak. Whereas if I'd made it through that into the dormitory, then maybe you would have got to know people a bit more, and I would have. But just on Americans being so loud and so like, you know, and I've got a few mates with Americans, but like, just that typical kind of like, you know, stereotypical American. Be a bit like, fucking hell, lad. I can't really. So I would have liked to have went through just to see what I was like, but also I think I would have found it tough to be like, because of my attitude of who gives a fuck. But you know what though, I might have started to get more serious.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you would. I mean, given what you said, and I would have been. I was sceptical if you just said I weren't asked about going out, because I know and I know you're human at first, but then and then against like anything else, you know, you'd have a game of footy, 5-a-side with your mates, come off the pitch fuming, 10 minutes later you're like, it's a game.
If you playing footy, a game of 1-on-1, you fouled me and won the game, and I'm like, lad, you've never won, lad, you fouled me. I'd be fuming you for probably an hour or two over a beer. And then after, fucking hell, it's done then. That's what it felt. Lad, I'm not going to sit here and say I weren't asked. I was asked. I was fuming. Fucking hell, lad.
And correct me if I'm wrong, does it bring up a bit of those feelings when people message you going, Andy went out straight away? Did you not almost in instinct want to defend yourself? Hold on.
So when I come back,
that was the bit I was going to ask you.
The funny thing is, when I got back, I told me dad, you know, me sisters and everyone, my little girl, you won't see me for 3 weeks now. After like 3 days, I was like, what's happening?
I had to stay in London that extra night just to drag it out of it.
Like 4 days later, I was back on my phone. He's like, fucking hell, you're shit, you. So I felt like the first week or two I got back and I was seeing the lads from the match again and all that, and, you know, just my mates. And there was a speaking gig that I told I couldn't do, and then I could do it. Like, I was like venomously kind of defending myself, going, nah, this is what happened. But then when people saw me on the show, I just text back going to fix. And then people were going back going, I've watched it, you can tell. So, but yeah, that was my Squid Games experience, lad.
Love it. And
anyone got any comments and wants to know anything else, I can touch on it again. But we are going to get Mutty on. So Mutty was the lad who got through red light, green light, but then in the next go, he got voted out just for no reason at all. So he's going to come in and tell us his experience.
Sure, he's dead happy about it.
Made up. And then we've got Amanda, who I've been speaking to on Instagram. She got to the last 9.
Wow. That's close, that. That's close.
Yeah.
That's like close enough for you to think, 4.5 million.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, listen, I'm going to speak to her on Thursday about it. So it'd be interesting. I mean, I spoke to her. She said she had an amazing experience and loved it. But I think I'd be that close. I'd be
different.
Fucking,
that's a different feeling, that, isn't it?
Because I just feel like I had a lottery ticket and it's like, but now I feel like I've got, you know, a 6-fold accumulator coming in. I've got 5 in, and it's
and it's half time.
So I don't know how I'd feel if I got that close, but be interesting to talk to her as well, and hopefully she can give a bit more about the other games, which I didn't get to do because I got fucking shot.
No, I'm sure a lot more of the viewers as well will have appreciated it well more than me. I mean, I literally only watched that first episode and was like, I'm not a big fan of reality TV. I never watched Big Brother. I used to. I occasionally would watch The Jungle.
A bit on it,
yeah, exactly. I haven't watched this year's The Jungle, even though everyone's saying it's dead funny. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of reality TV, to be honest. But
and I would recommend watching it because it's just put into like, it's just a social experiment. It's 100% a social experiment, and there'll be things that went on behind the scenes that obviously we don't know. But yeah, that was my experience. Hope I've I don't think I've left anything out.
Certainly enlightened.
Yeah. If you want to know anything else, just message me and we'll talk about it again on the pod.
And you've got more next week.
And you got more next week and the week after. So yeah, Hope you enjoyed this, and have a Boss Wednesday. See you later.